Alright, so first session, you're not allowed to use a calculator for this portion of the test. Which line is perpendicular to A? So here's A. What does the word perpendicular mean? It means it makes 90 degrees. So which line makes 90 with A? So here's A. Which line makes 90? So 90 is, I'm looking for one that's going straight up. Which one's that? B. Represented by that. What are the coordinates for J prime after triangle IJK is rotated 90 degrees clockwise about the origin? So this is J right here, and it's going to be rotated 90 degrees. 90 degrees is how many turns? One turn. Clockwise is which way? To the right. So one turn to the right. About the origin. That means you put your pencil at the origin, and you turn it one time to the right. Bam. Then you just read off what your new one is. So my new coordinate is, I'm going to go left 1. So left 1. And then I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down 5. So how do I say left? Left, is it positive or negative? Negative. 1. Down, positive or negative? Negative. So those are my new coordinates. So then, waiting for my answer, it will be -1, -5. -1, so it's not that one. -1, -5. B. All right, Rory wants to reflect. Reflect means open and close, right? Over the y-axis. So where's the y-axis? Here's the y-axis. So he wants to reflect this over there. So it's like you open and close your book. So if I reflect it, it's going to end up over here somewhere, right? Before I even start doing it, let me just look at my answer choices. It's not going to end up down here. It's somewhere over here. So it's not this one. Could be that one. Could be that one. And it's not that one. So down to 2 if I had to guess. But now we can actually do it. So when you're doing a reflection, you can fold the paper and you can see that C, this point right here, C, is going to go right there. So basically all you do is you count. So you're going to count 1 and then 1. That's your new C. C prime. For A, you're going to count to the line of reflection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's your new A prime. For B, the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's B prime. So final answer is not C, it is B. Number 4. Point R is located at 7, 2. Point is reflected across the y-axis. So a rough sketch will be okay. 7, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2. So this is point R. 7, 2. The point is reflected in the y-axis. So where's the y-axis? This is the y-axis right here. Y-axis, right? Point R's image is located at where? So if I reflect it across this line, where is it going to be? So again, if you imagine folding the paper, R is going to be somewhere over here, right? Which means it's a negative x coordinate and a positive y coordinate. Negative x, so it can't be this because it's not negative. Can't be this because that's not negative, because remember, coordinates are x and then y. And then it has to be positive y. So positive y, positive y. So it's either A or C. So we can actually do the question then. All right, so again, you count to the point of reflection. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you keep counting the same thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's also -7. So -7, 2. -7, 2. All right, number 5. It's translated to the right 2 and 4 down. Right 2 and 4 down. B. So since the coordinates are the hypotenuse, so he wants the coordinates of B prime and C prime. So B's coordinates are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5, 6. C are 1, 2. Oh, it's negative. Negative 2. And then it goes up 2. And then we're going to write 2. So to the right, what are we doing? Adding. Down, what are we doing? Subtracting. So we're going to add 2, subtract 4. Add 2, subtract 4. So negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. And that's going to be positive 2. And this one's going to be 0, negative 2. So negative 3, positive 2, that's this one. And 0, negative 2, that's D. Or you could just draw it out. So I could go right 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 down. And that's 0, negative 2. And then I could go right 2, 1, 2, and 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Whichever way, whether you're going to draw it or use math. Okay. If translated 3 spaces down, 2 spaces right, what's the new coordinates? So 3 spaces down of B. So I only care about B. So B is negative 1, 1, 2, 3, negative 1, positive 3. And we're doing 3 spaces down. So down is what? Negative 3. And 2 spaces right. So we're going to add 2 to the right. So right is obviously X and down is Y. So we're going to add 2 to the X and subtract 3 to the Y. So the new B prime is going to be positive 1 and 0. All right, or you could actually do it. So 3 spaces down, 1, 2, 3, and 2 spaces right, 1, 2. So that's B prime, 1, 0. All right, given the information, which of the following postulates could be used to show that these two triangles are congruent? Okay, so remember it has to go in order. So 1 tick, angle, 2 ticks. I have to do the same thing. 1 tick, angle, 2 ticks, right? So I go side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Now, I'm just going to show you. I'm just going to draw this one again. Remember, just pick a starting point, right? So if I picked here and I went this way, I skip a side, which is fine, but I also skip an angle, so that can't work. Okay, let's do another one. Let's say I started here, okay, and went this way. I skip a side, which is fine, and I also skip an angle, which can't work. Okay, let's say I started here. So I go angle, which is fine. I get a side, so I go angle, side. I skip an angle, and I also skip a side, so that can't work. Remember, you can't skip 2. That's what tells you which order to do. So this one I don't skip because here there's nothing, that's fine. Then I go side, then angle, then side. I'm not skipping at all. Okay. Number 8. The drawing below shows a top view of a structure built with cubes as well as the number of cubes in each column of the structure. So it has 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4. So this is the right and this is the front. Okay, so let me find the front. The front should have 1, 1, 2. The front should have 1, 1, 2. So that's not it because that has 3. Front should have 1, 1, 2. 1, 1, 2. Okay, that could be it. And then the second row should go 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then last one should go 4. If this is 3 plus 1 is 4. Same thing, 4 and 2. Perfect. So that's going to be C. If the measure of M is equal to 50 degrees, sorry, the measure of angle 2, so this one right here is 50 degrees. What is 5? So how do I get here? Okay, so what do I know? This and this are the same, right? Why? Because you see the folding V's, right? So this is also 50. And then this is on the same side, inside, right? Same side inside. So here's my house. Same side inside. What do you know about same side inside? What do? They add up to 180. So to find what I'm missing, I just do 180 minus 50, which is equal to 130. All right, number 10. What is the measure of angle A if lines X and Y are parallel? So X and Y. So this is parallel to this. What is angle A? What is this? All right, so let's see. These are parallel, right? That means this is a transversal. So this angle is the same as this angle here. So this one right here is 130. Okay. Then this is what? What is this? A straight line. So what do those add up? To 180. So 180 minus 130 is equal to 50. So the inside here is 50. And now I'm just going to draw this triangle. So the inside is 50. Over here is 25. How do I find this one? Well, they all add up to 180. So 180 minus these two. So 180 minus 75 will give me what I'm missing. So 180 minus 75 is 105. All right. A sign has four equal sides and 4 equal angles. What statement must be true? The sign is a rhombus. Okay, so you know what? The fastest thing to do is just draw it. So a rhombus is a slanted square. So let's do that. All right, so 4 equal sides. Yes, a rhombus has 4 equal sides. 4 equal angles. No, because this is not congruent to this. This is obtuse, and this is acute. So it's not that one. Square. 4 equal sides. Yes. 4 equal angles, yes, because they all have to be 90. But let's check the rest. A sign is a trapezoid. So what does a trapezoid look like? Like that. Sometimes you can have this is equal to this, but you can't have all 4. The sign is a pentagon. So a pentagon is five sides, like a house. So same thing with a pentagon. This can be equal to that, but nothing else. So the answer is a square. Given line segment AB, what's the first step in constructing a perpendicular bisector through point C on AB? So here's AB.
Here we're going to use a compass and a straight edge to construct a perpendicular line through a given point on a line. So we want to construct a line that's perpendicular to the given line and that passes through point A. So let's move our compass, move the arm out a bit, and center it at point A. Now what we'll do is we'll draw an arc with center A. And now all we need to do really is we need to move and center our compass at one of the points of intersections between the arc and the line, and move our arm out a bit so that it's past the midpoint. Actually, A now is the midpoint between the 2 points where the arc intersects the line. And we're basically here going to create a perpendicular bisector. So create an arc. Okay, now center your compass. Maintain the same radius. Center your compass at the other end point. Create an arc. Okay, we need a straight edge. Alright, so this point A is going to be the midpoint here, and we'll go from here, this point, to this point. We're creating our perpendicular bisector here. So now we just use our straight edge, and we draw a straight line through those 2 points. Okay. And this line, we can call it line M if we want, and call the given line N if we wanted to. M is perpendicular to N. So we have created a line perpendicular to a given line that passes through a point.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to inscribe a square in a circle. I start with a circle with center M. The first thing that I'm going to do is draw a diameter using a straight edge. Next, we're going to draw the perpendicular bisector of that diameter. When we construct a perpendicular bisector, we put the point of the compass on each end of the segment, and then we make sure that our compass is opened up more than halfway, and then we draw arcs above and below from each end point. Next, we take our ruler and we draw that perpendicular line. Each of these points of intersection will be the vertices of my inscribed square. So all I need to do is take my straight edge and connect those points. This square is inscribed in the circle.
And is enlarging a triangular design. Triangle ABC is to be enlarged with a scale factor of 2. What are the new coordinates of point C? Here's point C is -4, 1, and we're just going to multiply that by 2, so it's going to be -8. And -1 times 2 is -2. Why did I think positive? So -8, -2, D. Which angle has a cosine ratio of 3/5? Well, what's cosine? So you can go into your formula sheet and get this, but it's adjacent over hypotenuse. So I need A/H. So I need to label my triangle with, oh, actually, I don't know what my angle is, right? But I need A/H to be 3/5. So which one gives me 3/5? So I need A to be 3. Okay, so it might be that they've also simplified, actually, so that they can get 3/5. So I can see that it's going into, how would I explain this to you? It's going to be this over this. I guess the best thing to do is maybe just to do it all. So if A was my angle, right? So if A was my angle, which one would be A and H? So if A was my angle, that would be O. P's on H, so H would be 25. And then what's right next to it but not H? 15. So that would be 15/25. You can simplify that by what? 5. 5 goes into 15 3 times, and 5 goes into 25 5 times. Oh, so that's going to give me what I want. But if it wasn't that, you'd go to B, and so here's angle B. Well, you can't ever have the 90 as the angle, so it can't be that. You then go to angle C, and then you need A and H. So A is next to, let's start the obvious one. H is across from the 90, so that's 25 on the bottom. And then A would be 5 because O would be 15. If C is your angle, O would be 15, and A, that would be 5. So 5 goes into 5 one time and into 25 5 times. So that one would be 1/5. So it's definitely A. What is the value of X? All right, so this comes down to, like, what information do you remember? Just like you, I wouldn't really know exactly where to start. I got to figure out a few things and see if it helps me. Okay, is this? What does that look like? It's a kite, right? And a kite says this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, right? So then, if I come back to my question, if this part right here is 9, then this is also 9 because they're congruent, right? So that's 9. And because I filled that out, I know that this is 9 too, right? So right here is 9. But I'm looking for this whole thing. So to find this whole thing, what can I do? All right, so if I draw a line right here, do we agree that that's the radius of the circle from here to here? Yep. Okay, perfect. So let's find what that is. So I'm going to draw just this triangle over here. That's the center. That's 8. That's 9. And so my question is going to be, what is that? Okay, so that's C, so that's the longest side. So it's going to be 8 squared plus 9 squared equals C squared. All right, so just go ahead and punch that in the calculator. 8 squared plus 9 squared equals C squared. Take the square root of it, and that's C. So C is 12 point something. All right, now I have C, which is 12 point something, right? I can also use that to draw another radius right here, right? Which is the same radius, so this is also 12 point something. And I can use Pythagorean theorem on that triangle. So this triangle, I have this. This is 12.04, it's 8. And I can find this. So let's call it B, that's A. So again, A squared, 8 squared, plus B squared, I don't know, equals 12.04 squared. All right, then go ahead and subtract 8 squared. So B squared equals 12.04 squared minus 8 squared. So B is equal to the square root of whatever that is. So I'm gonna leave it in the answer and square it, and then subtract the 8 squared. So that gives me 81, right? So the square root of 81, so B is 9. And that's the importance of not rounding before, because if you had rounded before, then it wouldn't come out exactly 9. So this is 9, so I've proved 9. It looked like 9, but I didn't want to make that assumption. Maybe there's a rule as to why that's 9. So X is the distance between this entire chord, which is 9 plus 9, which is what? 18. So it looked like 9, but I didn't have like a basis to say that it was 9, so I didn't want to make that assumption. Oh, well, actually, I can make that assumption, right? Because if I had this triangle right here that makes a 90, and then I reflect it across that same line, wouldn't I come back to that line? Or I could look at it this way. I have a side. Let's see, I'm just going to draw this on the side, actually, see if I can prove it using triangle congruency. Okay, this is a shared side, so that's definitely 2 ticks. I know that this and this are congruent because of the radius. And then I have a 90 here and a 90 here. Does that help me? Yes, because of HL. So I didn't actually have to calculate this 9 because of hypotenuse leg. I know that if I have the hypotenuse and one of the legs, then the 2 triangles are congruent. So because the 2 triangles are congruent, that is also equal to 9. So I really didn't have to do this calculation right here, but I wasn't sure. So I just needed to do this. I didn't even need to do any calculation. I'm tripping. Okay, I'm gonna do this question again without all those calculations, but it gets me to the same place. So if I drew my question, all right, so if I drew my question, that was my question, right? Okay, I know that this and this is both 1 tick, so that's 9. I'm good with that. Then if I draw a triangle right here and a triangle right here, oh, and again, because this is a kite, sorry, it took me a second. Because this is a kite, this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, so that's 9. And then if I take this triangle, which is right here, this triangle right here is right here, and by HL, I proved that they're congruent, which also means that this one is also 9, so that means that's 18. Then I forego all of these calculations, but it gets me to the same exact place. All right. Inscribed circle, meaning the circle is inside and it connects to all the sides. That's going to be C. All right, the following Venn diagram shows the weekend shifts on Polly's ice cream parlor. How many members of the following set? Friday, intersect Saturday, intersect Sunday. So what does intersect mean? It's like where things meet, right? So the intersection of Friday, here's where Friday, Saturday, and Sunday all meet. So I'm going to use colors to illustrate this for you so that you can clearly see it. All of Friday is yellow. That's all of Friday. Okay. All of Saturday is green. Where Friday and Saturday meet, do you agree should be yellow and green? So that's this, right? But they don't care just about that. They want all of Sunday as well to meet. So the question is, where do you see all three colors? So here you see just yellow and green. Here you see green. Here you see yellow. Here you see red and yellow. Here you see just red and green. Here you just see red. So the way you see all colors is this place right here. So where everything meets, where they all meet, that's intersection. Where they all meet is Ali, Kim, and Joe. So that's going to be A. If it was union, so union is not where they intersect, but it's all together. So if it was Friday union, Saturday union, Sunday, it's like all of it put together. So all of this, and all of this would be the whole thing. All right, number 19, what's the center of the radius described by this equation? So remember, the equation of a circle must look like this. So we have to make it look like that, because right now it looks like x plus. So I have to change the plus, and how do I change that? By putting two negatives. So there's my negative with that, and so my h must be -7. This one's okay. And then I need to make it r squared is 9, so r must be 3. So my center is -7, +8, because that negative is not attached because there has to be a minus there. -7, 8, -7, -7, 8, -7, 8 with a radius of 3, which is D. All right, a basketball has a diameter of 28 inches. So see, first thing I do, I'm not even reading the whole question. I just go ahead and do it. Diameter of 28 inches. Which expression is the following for volume of a sphere? Volume of a sphere. So you need to go find your formula sheet. And you're looking for volume of a sphere. Area, circumference, volume. Volume of a sphere, right here. You just write that down. So volume of a sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed, which expression uses the formula correctly. So let's put the numbers in. So volume is 4/3 pi. What's the radius? This is the diameter, so how do I find the radius? If the whole thing's 28, what's half of it? 14. So it's going to be 14 cubed. And that's what you're looking for. So 4/3 is any one of these. Pi. That's not it. So it's one of these, pi, and then I should have 14 cubed. So that's D. So there's a 6% chance of rain, 15% chance of lightning, 20% chance of lightning if it's raining. What's the chance of both rain and lightning today? Is that a trick question? It says 20% chance of lightning if it's raining. Isn't that both? I think it's A, without thinking too much. I could be wrong, so I'll come back and check that question later. All right, number 22. At a local car lot, there are 25 trucks, 15 sedans. Of those vehicles, there are 9 blue trucks and 5 blue sedans. What's the probability of randomly selecting either a sedan or a blue vehicle? Okay, so a sedan. How many are those? There are 15. Out of how many cars? So those are 15 out of 15 plus 25, which is 40. Or means add a blue vehicle. Now, a blue vehicle, you see it says of those vehicles, there are 9 blue trucks and 5 blue sedans. So vehicle is neither one of those, right? It's like it's both. It's not being specific. So 9 plus 5 is 14. So there are 14 total blue vehicles. How many total vehicles are there? There are still 40 vehicles. So out of these, there are 14 blues. So now you're just going to add that. So what's that? 29/40. Do they simplify? No. So it's right there. If the density of blah, blah, blah is that, how much space does blah, blah, blah take? If the density is this per cubic, and this cubic is going to be my, if the density is this, how much space does that take? You just divide those two numbers. So 2200.575 divided by 22.57. 97.5. I'm not sure how to explain that. If the density of awesome is that, how much space does that take? Okay, this is going to be my hint. Anytime I see cubic, I'm thinking volume. So if they say that whatever this is takes up this much space, it's like this small or whatever, and then they're asking you how much does all of these stuff combined take. If you take all of the stuff combined, and you divide it by the number that one little piece would be, that will give me how much space it will take up. What are the coordinates of the points that will partition like into equal thirds? So AB, into equal thirds. In other words, I want 3 equal, oh look, that's so easy, because it's 1, 2, 3. All I did was go diagonally twice. It just happened to work out this simply. So what are the coordinates of points that will partition? So this is going to be -2, 1. I'm looking for -2, 1. Okay, so that's not there. Is 1, 3 there? 1, 3. 1, 3 is there. Oh, that's because that's -1, 1. I'm tripping. -1, 1, so C. So it breaks it down into 3 exact equal parts. There are 52 in a deck. 13 hearts, 13 clubs, 13 diamonds, 13 spades. Timothy draws 4 cards at randoms from the deck. 1 of each suits. He draws again without replacing, so this is going to be key, without replacing the 4. What's the probability that the next card is a heart? Okay, so when he picked, right, he got 1 from each suit. So now, and he didn't put him back, so now there are 12 hearts, there are 12 clubs, there are 12 diamonds, and there are 12 spades. So now that he didn't put them back, so now there are 12 of each. What's the probability that the next card is a heart? So how many hearts do I have? I have 12. Out of a possible how many? 12 plus 12 plus 12 plus 12. So that's 12 times 4, which is 48. And then let's simplify this. 12 goes into 12 one time and into 48 4 times, so 1 over 4. So very, very key to know whether it's putting them back or not. Oh, so now you were not allowed to use a calculator. I hope I didn't use a calculator. But anyway, now you can. All right, so he has 50 cookies, 4 of which are peanut butter. On the way home, he randomly picks 2 cookies to eat as his snacks. What's the probability that he chose 2 peanut bags with no replacement? Okay, so we want 2 peanut bags, no replacement, meaning if he takes 1 peanut butter, he doesn't put it back. So 4 peanut butter. So probability he picks the first peanut butter would be 4 out of 50, right? And because we want him to pick another peanut butter, but now he's taking 1 peanut butter, so now there'll be 1 less peanut butter and 1 less cookie. So it's going to be 12 over, and now you can use a calculator, 50 times 49, which is 2450. And you always simplify. Okay, so I'm going to check if it just simplifies by 12. It does not. I'm just going to do by 2. So that's going to be 6. 2450 by 2 is going to be that. Can't do 2 anymore, so let me check 3. Can't do 3, so those are all the multiples of that. So that's the least. 2 peanut butter cookies if he puts the first one back. Okay, so the first time he picks is going to be 4 peanut butters out of 50. He puts it back. Then you want another peanut butter, so you're going to multiply, and it's going to be 4 out of 50 again. So it's going to be 16. So 50 times 50. So it's going to be 16 over 2500. And again, always simplify. So I'm going to do by 2. So it's going to be 8 over 1250. I'm going to do by 2 again. That's going to be 4 over 625, and I can't do by 2 anymore, and 4 doesn't go into that. So 4 over 625. All right, 1 peanut butter cookie and 1 other cookie, no replacement. Okay, so the chance he gets a peanut butter on the first one is going to still be the 4 out of 50. Now he's taken the peanut butter out. He does not put it back. So I want him to pick another cookie, but now there are only 49 cookies. But I don't want it to be anything that was peanut butter. Well, if there were 50 cookies and only 4 were peanut butter, that means that 46 were regular or something else. So that's what I have, 46. And then multiply that together. So 4 over 50 times 46 over 49. And in this calculator, math enter will give you a fraction instead of having to simplify. 92 over 12. All right. There are 9 slips of paper in a hat, each with a number from 1 to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The numbers correspond to a group of students must answer the question when the number for that group is drawn. Each time a number is drawn, the number is put back. So it's put back in the hat. What's the probability that number 6 will be drawn twice in a row? So first time I want a 6. So how many 6s are there? 1. Out of how many possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And on the second one, I want another 6. There's still just 1 6, 1 out of 9. So it's going to be 1 out of 81. All right, what's the probability that the first 5 numbers drawn will be odd? So odd numbers, all the odd numbers. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5. The first 5 numbers will be drawn, will be odd. Man, so 5 out of 9 possibilities times, and again, the probability of getting an odd is 5 out of 9 because nothing's changed because you're putting it back. And we want to do it how many times? 5 times. You're going to do that 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you're just going to... So 5 divided by 9 times 5 divided by 9 times 5 divided by 9. Oh. Times 5 divided by 9 times 5 divided by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I guess I have to do this. 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Since my calculator's not just doing it for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then simplify that, which I don't want to do. C. What's the probability of the second? What is the probability that the second, third, and fourth numbers drawn will be even? So that the second number okay, so I don't care about the first, I only care about the second. So the second will be even. So how many even numbers are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 out of 9. So that's the second. And I want the third. So I want to pick the second one to be even. And the third one to be even, which is 4 out of 9. And the fourth one to be even, which is 4 out of 9. So 4 times 4 times 4, which is 64. And then 9 times 9 times 9, which is 65, 61. And then simplify that. Which of the following statements is not true about the diagram below? Measure of A is congruent to E. That's true because they tell you one take with the arc. BCA is congruent to DCE. This is congruent to this. Do they tell me that information? Well, I can figure that out. This whole thing is what? 180, right? So this missing piece will be 180 minus 130 minus 25. And it's 25. So that one's true too. And then ABC is congruent to triangle EDC. So these triangles congruent. Yes, because I have angle. So that one's good. Oh, we have to do the order. ABC. So I should go CDE. ABC, and I have EDC. Okay, so it must be, sorry, that's the correct thing. So it's 1 arc blank 25. So 1 arc blank 25. So that's correct. So there must be a typo here because none of the answers are there. What is the value of x in the triangle below? Okay, well, let's find out what this is. Because if I find out what this is, I can just add them together, right? So I can say 15 goes with 50. 15 goes with 50. And if I started on 15, I have to start on this. 36 goes with... 36 goes with the whole thing. Oh, so I'm not even looking for that little piece. 36 goes with the whole thing. So x. 15 goes with this. That's one triangle, that's small one. And then the big one with this whole thing. Cross multiply and divide. 15x is equal to 36 times 50, which is 1800 divided by 15. So x is equal to 120. Which additional facts prove that these are congruent? So they give us an angle, and then they say BC tick is congruent to DF. Nope, that's not going to help. Well, that's not congruent to each other. That's not going to help me. AB, so the height is congruent to FE. That's not going to help me. Angle B and angle E. Angle B and angle E. Yes, that might help me. So let me keep reading that. So let's say this is congruent to this. All right, then AB, and DE. Yeah, because that's going to be side, angle, side, which is cool. So C. The sine of angle A equals, so angle A is my angle. That means that's O. That means that's H. Oh, I don't even need to label. What am I doing? I definitely don't need to label because they don't give me any information. So that sine of A is equal to cosine of angle B. Complementary angles. Sine of A is equal to cosine of B, and cosine of B is cosine of A is equal to sine of B. So that's what I'm looking for. Cosine of B. So D. Which of the correct equation after completing the square? All right, so group the x's. They're already grouped. Okay, perfect. So, all right, I'm going to rewrite this with a little space. And I'm going to take this to the other side. So it's going to be what? -1. All right, so then I'm going to draw my parentheses. All right, now what you do is you take half of this. So divide by 2 and put x and y. Divide by 2 and then square it. So divide by 2 is -4. Squared will be +16. If I change something on this side, I have to change it on the other side. Same thing here. Divide by 2 and then square it. So divide by 2 is -1. Then square it is +1. If I change something on that side, I change it on this side. Then I go ahead and answer -1 plus 16 plus 1 is actually 16. So this is my equation of my circle. So what's the complete equation? So x minus 4, y minus 1, squared, and it should be 16. So 16, x minus 4, so it's going to be D. Circle B includes xy that measures 4 feet. So this is 4. What's the length of circle B's diameter rounded to the nearest tenth? So they want the diameter rounded to the nearest tenth. Well, this is a central. Okay. All right. So I just know the arc. Okay. So arc length is what I know. So I need the formula for arc length. Arc length. Area of a sector, arc length. So I need this. Is 2 pi r(O) over 360. So they tell me the arc length is 4. I do not know the radius. All right, so I'm going to multiply by 360. So that goes away. So I'm going to get 360 times 4. Which is 1440. So 1440 equals 2. Oh, and I know this is 30, so I'm just going to go ahead and put the 30 here. And I can go ahead and do all that in the calculator. Oh, actually, I'm going to write this all out and just put the r at the end so I can make this a little bit easier. I'm going to divide by all of this so I can leave r alone. So divide by 2 pi 30, which is 60 there, and this goes away. So r equals that. So it's 1440 And because they don't tell you what pi is, use the whole thing. So it's 1440 divided by, and I'm going to put it in parentheses, 60 pi. 60 and pi right here. 2 times 30 is 60. So 7.639. 7.639. So C. As shown in the diagram, all these are midpoints of that triangle. Okay, AB is 18, AB is 18. So if this whole thing is 18, if this is the middle, that means this is equal to this. Does that make sense? So this is 9 and this is 9 because the whole thing is 18. AC is 14, so AC is 14, but if this is the middle, this is equal to this. So if the whole thing is 14, each piece is 7. BC is 10, the whole thing is 10. If this is the middle, it breaks it up to 5, 5. I don't know what I need yet. What's the perimeter of the quadrilateral ACRM? ACRM. So what is this? Okay, so I have numbers everywhere except here. Well, this is the mid-segment, and what do you know about the mid-segment? It's half of the whole thing. So if you're given the middle, to get the whole thing, you multiply by 2. To get the middle, you divide by 2. So if the whole thing is 14, divide by 2, that's also 7. So now you find the perimeter is 9 plus 7 plus 5 plus 7 plus 7. So that's 21, 26, 35. We just add in 7, 7, 5, 7, 9 around the quadrilateral. Okay, so circle A is the center, negative 4, 3, contains a point negative 6, 3, which is over here, okay. Which of the following point is on circle A? So on the circle. Just look at the point. So negative 4 and 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So negative 4 and 1.5, that's about there. That looks like it just misses a circle. Negative 2, 1, that misses it. Negative 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 1, 2, nope. Negative 2, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3. That looks like it's on the circle, so D. And I don't know, this is just some random piece of information. Just because I give it to you doesn't mean you have to use it. All right, Jackson's soccer ball has a volume of blah, blah, blah. All right, so this is a sphere, right? So find your formula sheet, and you're thinking with cubed, you're thinking volume. So sphere, and write it down. So volume equals 4 over 3 pi r cubed. All right, so it has that volume. So that goes where the V is. So 6367.4 equals 4 over 3 pi radius cubed. So I don't know what the radius is, okay? So because this is all multiplication, I get rid of it by doing what? Dividing. So I'm going to say 6367.4 divided by 4 over 3 pi. That's going to give me r cubed. And then you're just going to take the cube root. So in the calculator, very important that you put this whole thing around parentheses. Or you could do it individually and write all the numbers down, but I don't do all that. 6367.4 divided by, put it in parentheses, so you're telling it to divide this whole thing. Now I'm also going to put 4 divided, actually, this calculator is kind of cool because you could do this. You could do that. 4 over 3, like that. Perfect. And then pi. Then close it. So you're saying take that divided by 4 over 3 pi. So that's r cubed is that. Then you need to take the cube root of that. To take the cube root of that, you can do second, and then you see that button right there. Oh, that's why I put X. Actually, never mind with that. Sorry, never mind with that. I'll do it the way I know. Just to take the answer, to take the cube root. You know how cubed you'd be raised to the power of 3? Well, cube root is raised to the fraction of that. So it'll be 1 over 3. How do I go back there? There. 1 over 3. So if it is raised to the cubed, it'll just be to the cubed. To the cube root, it's as a fraction, 1 over 3. So 11.49, which rounds to 11.5. What's the probability of rolling a 1 with a 6-digit number cubed in a row? So a number cube goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How many 1s are there? 1 out of how many possible? 6. So you want to roll it the first time? and the second time? Or does it make sense? First time or the second? No. I want to do it 3 times. So, and. So, 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. 6 times 6, 36 times 6 is some big number. 6 times 6 times 6. 216. So, B. All right, based on the frequency table, what's probability of selecting a student who is in 11th or 12th grade? And, so 11th or, so either one of these, and likes tacos or hot dogs. All right, so 11th or 12th grade, who likes tacos is going to be 11th or all of these, right? Or hot dogs and all of these. So all of these people, and because it's or, it's all adding. So 197 plus 121 plus 61 plus 203. So 582 out of a total of how many total students are there? My goodness. Out of all these totals, so 10, 23 plus 808 plus 717 plus, oh, that's the total. Haha, they already totaled it for me. Let's see if we get the same thing. Yeah, 25. Okay, they already did the total for me. I didn't see that. So 2548. So these are the number of students in 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade. Probability of selecting a student who is in 11th or 12th who likes tacos or hot dogs are 582 divided by that. And since you want to turn it into a percent, all you do is you divide. So 582 divided by 2548, and then you multiply it by 100. So 22.8%. At a local car lot, there are 25 trucks, 15 sedans. I've already answered this question. Please refer back to whatever question that was. Number 40, summer jobs taken by students on a local high school. If the student selected random, what's the probability the student got a car washing job in the summer? So these are summer jobs, car washing. Anybody? Okay, so it doesn't really matter whether it's a boy or girl. They just got a job car washing. So these are the number of, this 180 is the number of people who got a job car washing. So it's 180 people got that out of what? Out of 546 total. Because it doesn't matter whether it's a boy or girl. So all of these added up together, because you could either get a job as a lawn, as a car, or as a dog. Walker, I guess, I don't know, whatever. It's 546. So these are the ones who got positions as cars. So turn it into a decimal, so 180 divided by 546, 0.329, which rounds to 0.33. Which point lies in the circle with a center of -7, 8, and a radius of 3? So you write down the equation of a circle, which is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And again, you just get that right out of the formula sheet. Equation of a circle right there. All right, so then all you have to do is put in the values. So this is h and this is k. So you're going to say x minus h, which is -7 squared, plus y minus k, which is 8 squared, equals a radius, which is 3 squared. All right, so that's going to become what? Positive. So you're going to have x plus 7 squared plus y minus 8 squared equals 9. Okay, so now to check if either one of these points lie in there, all you have to do is put it in the calculator. And if you put it in the calculator and it's equal to 9, then you're good to go. So parentheses x. So I'll start with this one. My x is -8. So negative 8 plus 7 squared, right, plus parentheses y, what's y? 4 minus 8 squared equals 17. So that's not equal to 9, so it's not A. Now I'm going to try this one. Parentheses, x, which is negative 4, plus 7 squared, plus open parentheses y, which is 8, minus 8, close parentheses, squared, equals 9. So B is the answer. All right, what is the probability of getting 3 heads in a row when tossing a coin? Well, the probability of getting 1 head is in a coin there's either heads or tails, right? So probability of getting 1 head is 1 out of how many possible outcomes? 2. So I want to toss the coin and get a heads. Now, do I use the word or or do I use the word or the word and in my next sentence? So do I want the probability of getting 3 heads in a row when tossing a coin? Am I saying I'm going to toss a head or another head or another head? Or am I saying I'm going to toss a head and another head and another head? So it's and. So that's how you have to ask yourself on this thing. So I want a head on the first one and, not or, so and is multiplication. I want another head. Probability of getting another head is still going to be 1 head out of 2 possible outcomes. And then I want it a third time, so 1 out of 2. Multiply all that. You can put in the calculator. You can just multiply the numerators, which is 1, or multiply and multiply denominators. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. They want it in that, so it's 0.125, but you could just check in the calculator. 1 divided by 8. Find the measure of the missing side. So you can do a whole bunch of setups. It doesn't really matter what you start with, but I guess I'll start here. 12 goes with 18 because they're both vertical, and then because I started on this triangle, I have to start again on this triangle. 8 goes with question mark. Okay, so you can do 8 goes with question marks, 12 goes with 18. You can do 18 goes with 12, question mark goes with 8, or you can do 12 goes with 8, vertical goes with horizontal, so 18 goes with that. I mean, there are 1,000 ways you could do it. Then cross multiply and divide, so I'm going to get 12 question mark equals 18 times 8 is 144. Divide both sides by 12, you're going to get question mark alone, so question mark is equal to 12. So the measure of the missing side is 12. Find the circumference of the circle. Circumference. So I need to go to my formula sheet and look for circumference. So circumference is these two formulas. Do they give me the diameter or the radius? They give me the radius. So I'm going to use 2 pi r. So circumference is 2 pi r. And then just fill in the information. Circumference is 2 times pi. And what's the radius? 15. So times 15. So circumference is equal to 2 times pi times 15. Which is 30 pi, and I think if you press enter, not enter. Okay, that's what it is. You press these 2 arrows and it'll give you the decimal form. So 94.24. Or you can leave it in terms of pi, which is 30 pi. Use a circle to find measure AD. AD. So find this. This is what I'm looking for here. So that's x. Given BDE. BDE is 60. ABD. ABD is 35. And the measure of AB, of arc AB, is 100. So the rule, and again, the way I'm going to start doesn't necessarily mean that's the way to go. It's just I'm going to fill out as much information as I can and then see if I can end up getting what x is eventually. So starting at these two, I can do that and that, which means that those 2 angles are the same because they're coming from the same 2 beginning points. So this is also 60. I don't know if that's what I need. I'm just doing it, if that makes sense. If I know that this is 60, then because it's inscribed, this is what? This is twice as much as that, so that's going to be 120. And the other one I need is right here, so I need to find this one. Oh wait, that doesn't start at the end. What else do I know? Oh, I guess if I know this is 35, I know that. I'm tripping. All right, so you see this is 35 right here. This one right here. Which means the arc connected to that is going to be twice as much as that because it's an inscribed angle, right? So x is actually going to be 70. The interior angles of a quadrilateral inscribed in a circle are, so if it's in an inscribed quadrilateral, I know that the diagonals, they add up to what? They add up to 180. So let's say this one is 110. Let's just fill this out. 70, 2x, and x. The diagonals add up to 180, and also all the angles in any quadrilateral add up to 360. So what's the value of x? And because I don't know the order, I'm not going to use the diagonals add up to 180. So because I don't know where the 110 and the 70 exactly go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up all the angles, and they should give me 360. So if I say 110 plus 70 plus 2x plus x, because it's a quadrilateral, all quadrilaterals have to add up to 360. And then I just solve the equation. If you do circles and boxes, and move that to that side, it's going to become negative 70. Move that to the other side too, it's going to become negative 110. So 2x plus x is 3x equals 360 minus 70 is 290 minus 110 is 190, 180. I'm just going to check it because I'm not trusting my mental math today. 360 minus 70 minus 110. Okay, 180 divided by 3. So x is equals to 60. And if I had done it this way, I would have gotten it wrong because if I'd set it up this way, 2x plus that, this plus this is 180. So it would have been 180 minus 110 divided by 2. Yeah, I would have got that wrong because the setup was wrong. So just ignore this. Actually, just ignore this and just know when you add up all the angles in any quadrilateral, they add up to 360. Find the area of the shaded region. So we're dealing with area, and it's a circle, and it's and it's a circle. So I need areas of circles. So area of a circle is pi r squared. All right, so what you're doing is you're taking like a hollow thing and taking the middle out of it. So if I find the area of the big circle and I subtract the area of the circle that I'm taking out, I will be left with the shaded part. So this is going to be the area of the big one. So I need the radius of that. So the radius of the big one, if it's 6 inches from here to here, and then it's 4 inches from here to here, which means this is also 4 inches, the whole total of that is 10. So this one is 10 pi 10 squared, so that's 100 pi, is the big one. Now the small one, the radius of that is 4 inches, and again pi r squared, and so that's going to be pi 4 squared, which is 16 pi. And again, to get what's left after I take the small one out, I'm going to subtract the two. So 100 minus 16 pi is going to be 84 pi. And they want it in decimal form, so you're just going to punch it in the calculator, 84 pi. Enter will give you that, but if you press this, it'll give you a decimal. So 263.89. Find the area of the shaded region. Okay, so it must be that it's telling you this whole thing is 6. I might have, maybe it's not saying this little piece is 6, so it's saying the whole thing is already 6. So the big circle, I'm going to change that number to 6 because I must have misunderstood the question because I thought just this part is 6, but it must be the whole thing is 6. So the radius of the big circle is 6. So 6 squared, which is going to be 36 pi. So 36 pi minus, well, that can't be. Yeah, 36 pi minus 16 pi, which will be 26 pi. So 26 times pi, and again press the arrows, 81.68. 81.68. Well, that answer isn't there either. Thirty-six pi minus 16 pi is 20 pi. So 20 times pi. And then the arrows, so 62.83. 62.83, so C. In the diagram, CDE is inscribed in the circle. The ratio of the measure of CE, so the ratio of CE to CED to that is, oh, so no, this is, so wait, CE comes first, right? So this, remember this is always twice. So if this is x, this is 2x. So the ratio is 2x to every x. So it's 2 to 1. Which equation represents a line that passes through the point that and is parallel? Now, what does the word parallel mean in terms of line? It means same slope to the line whose equation is this. So I need to find the slope of this line. So I need to solve it to make it look like y equals mx plus b. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to move the 3x to the other side. So I'm going to have negative 4y equals negative 3x plus 6. I'm going to divide everything by negative 4. So we'll get y equals, two negatives are going to make what? A positive. So it's going to be 3x over 4. Two negatives are going to make a negative 6 over 4. I'm not going to worry about simplifying it because all I care about is the slope. This is the slope because m is the slope. So the slope of the other line is 3 over 4. Now it needs to pass through this point right here. So if I write down my other equation, y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, I can just put it into the equation. Now you could still just use this actually and just solve for b and then write the equation, but I just found it easier to use this one. So y minus y1, which is, so this is x1, y1. y1 is 6. So y minus 6 equals m, which is 3 over 4. X minus x1. x1 is negative 2. Two negatives are going to make a positive there. So you're going to get y minus 6 equals 3 over 4, x plus 2. Now, they don't have this equation like this, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this fraction. So I'm going to multiply by 4. Multiply everything by 4. So this is going to get, this side is going to get multiplied by 4, and this is going to get multiplied by 4. So I'm going to get 4y minus 24 equals, and you see the 4's cancel, leaving a 3, and I'm going to put that in the house too. So 3x. Is this negative? No, that's not negative. Oh, that was a multiplication side. 3x plus 6. How do they want it? Just a number on this side. So take this to this side. They want the numbers on this side, so that's going to be plus 24. And they want 3x on this side, so that's going to be negative 3x. So we'll get 4y minus 3x equals 30. Okay, and they just rewrote it to have the negative 3x in the front. So negative 3x plus 4y equals 30. All right, trapezoid blah, 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 medium EF. Median. Median means what? The middle. So this is equal to this. This is equal to this. And also, yeah, so AB is x plus 9. CD is 5x plus 21. And EF is 36. What is the value of x?